As I understand it, there was talk of legislation which meant that it was outside of the law to sack one bunch of people and then immediately take on cheaper people. I thought that there was the possibility that could become a legal issue, but that was rejected relatively recently. Are there not options on the table for that?
So that is true. There was a bill that was brought forward as a piece of backbench business to end the practice of fire and rehire, as it's called.
We believe that using threats of firing and rehiring is unacceptable as a negotiating tactic.
That was what Prime Minister Boris Johnson told MPs in January last year.
Using threats of firing and rehiring is unacceptable.
But just 9 months later, in October, the government actually blocked a law to curb the practice of fire and rehire. That's right. In October, the Prime Minister sold out workers by ordering MPs to block a new law to curb this unjust, unacceptable practice. The debate had followed increasing concern over fire and rehire tactics used by companies such as British Gas, which dismissed hundreds of engineers last year who had refused to accept a pay cut and longer, more antisocial hours.
The reality is that in the government's view, whilst the process, the practice of firing and rehiring is clearly despicable and something that the government's been very clear that it disagrees over, the scope of that bill was too broad and would have had, in our view, consequences for business that would have been unreasonable and actually damaged the employment market.
The government argued that companies in serious financial difficulty must have the option of offering staff new jobs if the alternative is closure. But an analysis found that nearly 70% of firms engaging in this outrageous practice were